He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Hey everyone! Welcome to another Supervillians Explored, Masters of Evil edition. And today we're going to be talking about one of the more well-known Marvel villains, the Mad Titan, Thanos. Thanos has a very long and prolific history in the Marvel Universe, even though he's not exactly the oldest of the Marvel villains. He first appeared during the early 70s. The exact issue he appeared in was Iron Man number 55, and he was created by a well-respected Marvel writer named Jim Starlin, who is also responsible for the creation of Adam Warlock and Shang-Chi. But I digress. Thanos' origins are that he was born to a race of alien beings called the Eternals on the moon known as Titan, which is one of the moons of Saturn, in an underground civilization. Thanos was born to the Eternals, who are basically a race of aliens who pretty much look exactly like humans. But Thanos, however, was born with with a lot of deformities. And he basically didn't look human. He looked more. He had purple skin and was a lot more ugly and monstrous looking. And he was especially jealous of all the people around him who looked like normal, beautiful, highly attractive human beings, and especially his brother, Eros, who is better known as the ultra-faggy superhero known as Star Fox. Eventually, Thanos began he would hate everyone around him in the entire society that he lived in, and he grew obsessed with the idea of death. Eventually, longer in his teenage years, he would actually meet death in person. He would meet the cosmic entity known as Death, which was basically Death, which had taken a female form. When Thanos met Death, he became obsessed with Death, and he became obsessed with serving her and basically pleasing her for all of her life. It wouldn't be revealed until much later that all he would want to do is be considered Death's equal. So in order to please and make Death happy, Thanos would recruit a whole bunch of alien mercenaries, and he would basically drop a nuclear bomb on Titan, killing millions of people in his home civilization. And then he would proclaim himself to be the ruler of Titan. It was eventually after this that he sort of gained the moniker of the Mad Titan. Later on, Thanos would come into possession of an artifact known as the Cosmic Cube, which he had wanted to use to basically become a god. He succeeded at this. He gained possession of the Cosmic Cube, and he used it to become completely omnipotent, which meant that all of the heroes that he fought against, including Captain Marvel, Adam Warlock, and the Avengers, were all pretty much completely useless against him. Captain Marvel, however, succeeded at tricking Thanos into throwing the Cosmic Cube away, And therefore, Captain Marvel grabbed the Cosmic Cube and used it to revert Thanos back into his regular self, and thus Thanos was defeated by the Avengers. Thanos hated the fact that he had been defeated so easily, and he thought that he was hated by death for his failure. So instead, he decided that he would come up with an even greater scheme to destroy the heroes. He decided that he would try to use the artifacts known as the Soul Gems to make himself all-powerful once more. He worked alongside, he actually teamed up with Adam Warlock to defeat an evil futuristic version of Adam Warlock known as the Magus. And because of this, he got the Soul Gem from Adam Warlock. Later on, he would travel across the universe to collect five other Soul Gems, and in doing this, he gained possession of all 6 of the Universal Soul Gems, and he combined all the Soul Gems into one gigantic, all-powerful Soul Gem. He started using this Soul Gem to start destroying and extinguishing stars all across the galaxy. This gained the attention of all the superheroes, and his newest Doomsday plot was completely successful until this battle with the Avengers and Adam Warlock, whom Thanos had actually managed to kill. However, Spider-Man was actually influenced and he sort of unknowingly resurrected Adam Warlock along with the aid of a few other cosmic entities. And eventually, Adam Warlock managed to destroy the gigantic Soul Gem, and he turned Thanos into stone completely. And that was the end of Thanos for a while. But then, in 1990, Marvel would actually seek to resurrect Thanos in probably one of the most epic Marvel comic story arcs of all time. It was revealed that Thanos was revived by who else? His own beloved mistress, Death. And it was revealed that Thanos was revived solely for the purpose of maintaining balance throughout the universe. You see, Death's main motivation is actually to keep the balance between life and death equal. And since the universe had become incredibly overpopulated, Thanos would pretty much seek to solve this problem. And to do so, he gathered up all of the 6 Soul Gems again, and he renamed them the Infinity Gems, and used them all to create a highly powerful weapon of mass destruction known as the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet to wipe out half of the universe's population. And thus, in doing this, Thanos would be challenged by the Avengers and Adam Warlock. Eventually, Adam Warlock gains control of the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos, and he fixes the problem that Thanos created by wiping out so many people. Eventually, Thanos manages to fake his own death, but Adam Warlock decides that since he doesn't have the power of the Infinity Gauntlet anymore, he decides that he'll just let it pass and let Thanos live his own life on a different planet. Eventually, Thanos would during Thanos' early years, he would actually create 2 very powerful cosmic superheroes. There's one being Drax the Destroyer and another one being Moondragon. Early on in Thanos' life, after he had destroyed the society on Titan, he actually traveled to Earth in a starship. And when a couple inside of a car actually saw Thanos' starship up in the sky, Thanos realizes this and he decides to kill them and destroy their vehicle, so that he doesn't want he doesn't want anybody to know that he exists. So he destroys their vehicle. Unknown to Thanos, however, Thanos' father, Mentor, who actually survived the attack on Titan, actually rescues the two humans inside of the car, and he bonds their souls and spirits to that of two highly powerful cosmic entities. Mentor would bond the cosmic entity known as Kronos with the spirit of I think his name was like Arthur Douglas, I believe his name was. I'm not sure if that's right. Anyways, Kronos would be bonded with this one human, and this human would become Drax the Destroyer. And the other human, the female, I forgot what the name of the cosmic entity was that he bonded her with, but she became Moondragon. So in a sense, Thanos would be responsible for creating two highly powerful cosmic superheroes as well. Recently in the comics, Thanos was teamed up with Annihilus, another cosmic-based supervillain, while Annihilus had kidnapped Galactus and used Galactus's power as a source for Annihilus to conquer and rule the universe. However, Thanos decided to betray Annihilus, and he freed Galactus, but in the process he was murdered by one of his own creations, Drax. Very, very, very recently in the comic books, Thanos is resurrected again, and thus begun a new element in the Marvel Universe called the Thanos Imperative. And believe it or not, despite having only appeared in mainly the comic books, Thanos has actually become quite popular in the Marvel Universe. One of the more popular villains. And he's a great villain, definitely. And that's it for this video.